Good evening and welcome to the Jackson Football Recap Show tonight here at Hub City Deli on Pleasant Plains Extended, just off of Van Drive or just down from the school. A great place to come and eat, and we are enjoying the food, the fellowship, and we got some great football players, some great coaches here, and we're going to have a lot of fun for the next hour. Of course, you know, the co-host here, he's Coach Brian Bullard, and I get to say I'm Coach Joe Holloway. And Brian, couple of opening statements then. Let's get in because I'm excited to talk to this young man that's next to you here in a few minutes.
Yes, sir. Glad to be here this Tuesday night at Hub City, and we do have a couple of our coaches and their families here. And this was the vision for the show, was to try to get as many folks as we could in the building, enjoying each other and the fellowship with one another, along with some good food. And even better after a playoff win Friday night. And love to talk about it, get some stats out here, introduce our guests whenever you're ready for them, and then get to some of our players this week.
Of course, we've got a couple of things. We've got some awards. Now, we've got some young men we want you to help that are up for awards.
Yes, sir.
And, of course, we always give out our player of the game that we have good sponsors and people for. But a lot of things happening at Jackson Christian. We were watched, and I'm sure they enjoyed it in Washington, D.C. The seniors were out. And, of course, Chase McLean, our fine baseball coach, handles a lot of sports information, internet. You know, whatever Chase needs to do, he does it. He was watching the game on his phone and sent me a picture of him watching the game.
He was at the Grizzlies game there in Washington as well, too.
And we have a lot of good things. We also talk about the school and what people teach. But, folks, Jackson Christian is more than just athletics and football. It's one of the fine academic institutions. And Christian education in this day and time is more important than it ever is. And, Brian, I know you would definitely second that.
Absolutely. It's a great place to be. It's a great place to raise a family. My two kids are one's in kindergarten, one's in a 3 classroom down the hill, and they love it. They know everybody on the football team and all the coaches, and everybody surrounds them. And there's a great picture taken of my son standing next to me Friday night, and that's kind of what we embody and what we hope that our football program puts out there for people. Is if you're a part of it, you're a part of our family. But if you're not part of our football program, you're still part of the Jackson Christian family. And it's just a great place to work and to raise kids as well.
Better come and check it out. And just like over here, you've got 2 sets of coaches behind you. But you know what's fascinating is they are being good family men and good coaches at the same time. I'm going to, one time, if we don't do it this year, you and I are going to interview the little people next year.
All right, we can try. We can see what happens,
now,
Coach.
Darby tries to keep his wife off of that. Now, she was a pretty good athlete in her day and time, though, too.
Yes, sir.
And good things are happening here. I'm excited about it. To my right, we got some young men over here, and you're going to be excited to hear 2 of them. You got 2 stars. I'm probably going to ask for their autograph after the show is over tonight. But, Coach, let's get our special guest introduced.
Yes, sir. And we've been on him, and he's been a busy man. And he coaches. He's our head middle school coach in his first season, but he also plays a huge role on the varsity staff as well, coaching our secondary, helping out on special teams, just whatever we need him to do. Coach Josh Wyatt is with us tonight, and we really wanted him to be here to talk about the middle school season, the success they had, how much they grew as a team, but also we had some guys recognized for some all-star games, and we want to get that information out there as well and put a face to the name for Coach Wyatt. And we're happy that he's here. He's done a great job, and can't wait to see how he connects with kids and makes an impact on our students and our athletes.
Absolutely, Coach Josh Wyatt, and he reminds me now of Wyatt Jones. Both of them tough guys. No, I'm serious. And it's amazing that, and I'm going to have to fight calling him Wyatt because Wyatt's one of my favorite guys. I'm a catcher, but he's a tough guy. He'll block you. He does catch passes, folks, even though he's kind of silent. He'll block you and hit you. But I've watched Coach. Coach works hard.
Yes, sir.
Matter of fact, he probably is very tired and has lost a couple of pounds after every ball game. We got the privilege of doing it. But, Coach, we need to meet you up close and personal. For the fans that are listening that don't know you, go all the way back to when you started playing football and got into sports. Bring yourself up through your schools, where you went to college, and then when you came to Jackson Christian.
I appreciate the opportunity to be here. Coach Bull, I appreciate all the kind words that you said, just like I wrote it. So I appreciate that. So I'm originally from Texas, and the son of a preacher, and moved around a lot in the state of Texas, but played football, basketball, baseball, and tennis all through high school, and actually went on to college and played tennis. Went to Freed-Hardeman University, where I met my wife, and
tell them her name too. Now she's
Rachel.
Yes,
Rachel. She and which is it's pretty awesome because my wife actually graduated from Jackson Christian. She graduated in 1995. She played. She was a great athlete too. She says that our kids get their athleticism from her, and I tend to agree. But she played softball and basketball at Jackson Christian, and went on and played softball at Freed-Hardeman University. And she is the daughter of Roy and Jan Sharp, and a lot of people in the area that are affiliated with Jackson Christian and with churches, they know Roy and Jan very well.
Freed-Hardeman royalty right there. That's a good family to be in.
Yes, it is. And going to Freed's a pretty good thing because you two gentlemen went and played athletics down there. I would have gone, but I'm so old. Freed was a junior college. Now, you guys went when it was a 4-year school.
Yes,
got a fine education down there, and I was fortunate enough to last year do some play-by-play for their basketball. But I'm all Jackson Christian this year. But Freed-Hardeman, and we couldn't get rid of Josh quick enough. He broke a few of Brian's records. Now, when you played tennis, y'all have had some great tennis teams down at Freed-Hardeman.
We did. This was back in, I guess, the late 90s. We had, at one point, I think we were ranked number 5 nationally among small colleges. So it was a great experience. I was the only American actually on the boys' team. So it was a lot of great experiences there, and just kind of getting to expand culturally among even just that team and those players. So
yeah, Coach White's being modest. They were feared. Folks did not want to play them. In the NAIA especially, they were respected, but they were ranked in all small colleges, whether it was NCAA or NAIA. Coach, what caused you to get into coaching?
Well, that's a great question. I got my degree in Bible actually from Freed-Hardeman, and got a master's degree also, and started preaching immediately out of college. And I was at the Rosemark Church of Christ for about 15 years as the pulpit minister. And at one point in time, I just decided that I wanted to keep preaching, but I wanted to preach for free, and I wanted to get my income from somewhere else. And I knew that, just working with young people and also with athletics, it was something that I'd always loved and always enjoyed, and especially getting to coach my kids as they were younger too. So I looked into getting into the school system, and started teaching and coaching football at Brighton High School back in 2015.
Now, 2015. Now, McConnell had already gone from there.
Correct. Yeah.
Y'all ran a wide open offense. Ours is open, but we're a little more under control at Jackson Christian than Brighton was.
Right. We had. Once that spread system, really came about, I think Brighton was able to. They were able to take advantage of the fact that a lot of teams just hadn't seen that before, so they were able to do very well with that. But we really, I guess in my last few years there, we were really more of a running team in a spread formation. So,
well, if you get people spread out and hit the A or B gaps, you give a fake or just hand off. Sometimes Cam Boyd does a great job, and so does Campbell running. We've added a little twist to it here and there. Yep. We won't talk about that too much because I wouldn't even be surprised if Jeff Brothers isn't listening tonight.
Hey, he probably is.
From Nashville Christian, but your middle school coaching.
Sir.
It takes a unique person to coach middle school. You have much more patience. This gentleman here, he has patience. He's a teaching coach, and really a coach is a teacher of athletics. How do you do it in middle school?
I'm still trying to figure that out. I don't know. To be honest, I could not have come in to this program at a better time with that group of young men that I had, those 7th and 8th graders this year. It was I was just so privileged, and I think they spoiled me a little bit because they were such hard-working kids, and not at all what I expected to get from middle school players. But they were way more mature than I thought that they would be, and their football IQ was so much higher, and these guys have just done a really great job in this program, building it up from the floor and from these youngest ages, just getting them exposure to the high school and to the philosophy that's here and just the family mentality. These guys were, from the moment that I stepped on the campus, these kids were on board. And I loved working with them.
Well, you've experienced every emotion because your quarterback, and I was very proud of you, made good adjustments. I didn't see any panic or anything. I probably would have panicked, and I had a couple of years of middle school football, and I was glad that the superintendent sent me back to high school. But Vaughn got hurt, and it makes a big difference, but you still adjusted. But you had a super offensive and defensive line.
Absolutely. Those guys up front were huge for us, and Mason Vaughn is just a special athlete. But it sure helped that he had those guys up front for him, offensively blocking for him, and then, defensively, man, that front four for us defensively in middle school they were phenomenal. They
really were. Coach Bull, I'm going to go ahead. You had two guys that were healthy enough to play in the All-Star game Saturday night.
We did, actually four. So we had West Carroll. We had two guys that played at West Carroll, and that was Tristan Nash and Lucas Witherspoon. Both of those guys, which I got to go to the game and watch them play and talk to some of the Lexington coaches afterwards who were coaching the South team, and they had nothing but great things to say about those guys and just how well coached they've been and how easily coached they can be. Just their effort and their maturity level was great, and so that was a great experience for them. And also pulling away with a victory is always good. So the South team won, and Lucas and Tristan got to be a part of that. And then we also had at Trinity, they hosted another All-Star game, and so we had Hudson Green and Chandler Crowell who played in that, and I talked to them. I wasn't able to go to two games at once, so I got to talk to them, and they had a great time playing in that game. And both of them played offensive line, and I think Chandler played a little linebacker too, and they did a really, really good job. I'm just glad they had that experience.
Speaks well for the program, Coach.
Yeah, Coach White, tell us about, you knew you were going to need to make a transition with your job, and tell us about how you were able to go, because where I understand that you've been an assistant and haven't been a head coach yet. What was the big differences, and what made the transition hard or easier, or what was that like for you when Jackson Christian offered you that head coach position? Once we found out Coach Brower, who's given us a lot of really good years, was stepping down from that role.
Well, I tell you what, just building relationships has always been a priority to me, and so that's something I think that translates no matter what role you're in, whether it be an assistant or a head coach. Just the relationships with your coaching staff and with the players, that to me was big and made things a lot easier, I think, in the transition. And another thing was just how well Coach Ray and Coach Brower and
Coach Lumley?
Coach Lumley,
yes.
Go. Coach Lumley had done – I lost my mind for a sec. I haven't seen him in about a month, I guess.
Yeah.
It's been a month and a half, so –
He's probably throwing a little white apple right now or something.
Yep.
He likes that. And of course, you get to, just like the high school, you have the fabulous Greg Armour, who I say is the best stat man around here.
I'm telling you.
Besides, he can coach a little football, too.
Yeah, he knows his football as well. That's right.
I don't know what we do without Greg. Mr. Greg has been great for us, especially middle school. He helps us so much. He has the water cow down there on our practice field and has the ball bag down there before we even come out of school. So
answer this question. You mentioned relationships. You got a kid that's coming into Jackson Christian middle school football. What can they expect?
Well, they can expect to be a part of a family that has each other's backs no matter what, and they're also going to be expected to give whatever it is they're wanting to get from a team. They're going to be expected to put that much into it, if not more. And I think that's the big thing with family, and that's one thing I love about the culture here at Jackson Christian is the accountability that we provide for each other, the accountability that's facilitated from the coaching staff with the players, and even the accountability among the coaches themselves.
Absolutely. And, Coach, I know this is a fine young man. sixth graders, fifth graders, parents that are interested in coming, Coach will be glad to sit down with you, talk with you, share his philosophy, share the school's philosophy, show you, and we've got some good facilities. Plus, we got Coach Irv, too. I always like to give Coach Irv
Absolutely.
and your young people as they progress through the weightlifting program. But this is a man that knows football. I guarantee. I know they. I got to do 2 of their middle school games, and we have middle school games on. But tell them. I'll let you do a little ad for yourself, and it's legal. We're not recruiting.
So, ad for myself.
Well, for the school,
For the
team.
school. Well, I tell you what. I don't know if there's any better advertisement than to tell you that. Both of my kids are with me. I have one daughter who is special needs. Very rare that you find a private school that has a special needs program, but I was able to bring Florine, my daughter, with me. My son Kai, we had just transferred him to Harding Academy, which is a great school, and he was doing very well there. But when I presented him with the opportunity to transfer and come to Jackson Christian, he was on board, and I could not be happier for both of my kids being here, being a part of this culture, being a part of this family, and then my son also being a football player and being able to experience all of that with him. I could not ask for him to be in a better place.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, Coach, you'll let your quarterbacks throw the football.
Absolutely.
Some middle school coaches won't. I just wanted to get that straight.
Absolutely.
I had a family say something about, well, we're trying to consider this school in Jackson Christian. We won't name the other school. And they said, will they let him throw the football if he develops into a quarterback? Well, I said, as a third grader, it's a little early, but yes, and so Coach has answered. They're listening tonight, too.
Yeah.
And
well, I played quarterback and linebacker when I was in high school. So
what high school was that again?
It was 3 of them.
Oh, 3 of them. Okay.
I was at Llano High School, which is in west of Austin, and then I went to Bossier High School in Bossier City, Louisiana, my sophomore and junior years. I graduated my senior year from Howe High School, which is just north of Dallas.
Absolutely. And sometimes when you are the son of a minister, these things happen.
Yes,
you move
that's
around,
right.
especially, and you still will preach, though, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, very good, because that's important. The young people get a good dose of not only a Christian education, but they get a good dose of religion, which there are places that don't. Coach is able to do that. He's able to go out and speak, and I'm sure you worked or been in the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, too.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And that great organization.
Yes, sir.
isn't it?
Absolutely.
And we believe in things like that. We participate in some of their contests and stuff during the summer, and our kids have done well. Coach, what else do we need to know about you? There's got to be something. Coach Bullard and I, we haven't covered it all. Matter of fact, we could do an hour with you because this man is a football man, but he's a good man.
I'm grateful. I mean, that's I don't know of anything else I could say, but that I'm grateful for this opportunity to be here in this community. I'm grateful for my wife kind of to be able to come back home, and I'm just grateful for my kids to be able to be here with me and experience this with them. And I'm grateful for these guys. They've been awesome. They've been a blessing.
Coach Bull, you got anything else for Coach?
I
know he's got to go, but
I knew when he jumped in the first day and was right there learning and asking and being a part of what we're trying to do and with these kids, and that he was going to be a good fit. And we are excited and hope that he and his family are here for a long time. We're just glad to have him.
And I do want to second something. Your wife was a good athlete. Even though I was still coaching in the public school system, I was doing radio part-time.
Yeah.
She was a player. She really was. And
Yes, sir.
But I have a feeling the kids got athletic ability from both of y'all. We have a tradition. Plus, we want to hear your favorite Bible verse. So give your favorite Bible verse first, and then it's your turn to say anything to not only the Jackson Christian.
I think he's going to stay with us. He's
going
to
he is going to stay.
Yeah.
Oh, I was told that
we,
you had to
we
get
talked
back
earlier,
to
but he's going to stay and finish up. Yeah.
And
we'll hold off on that, but the Bible verse, go ahead.
Okay. There's so many, but I would say probably 2 Corinthians 5:21, that God made him who knew no sin to be sin on our behalf so that we might become the righteousness of God in him.
That makes you feel good just to hear that.
Absolutely.
I know now why this man can get up in the pool.
He brings the word, Coach. He does it in chapel. He brings the word.
And that's always good when you're minister, preacher, whichever term you want to use. My grandfather always just said preacher. I don't think he ever uttered the word minister, but it gives you comfort. And I've seen what he can do for his players. In victory, he taught them properly. and they had a defeat or two, and guess what? I saw a man give them comfort yet teach them something. And, Coach, my congratulations on
Thank
that.
you.
We've got to take a break in a minute, but let's give him a word here and let him say what he wants to. That's our tradition. We let him, and we got Moose Henry listening all the way in Kingsport, Tennessee, and I wouldn't be surprised because Darby's parents listen all the time over in Arkansas.
I am ready for Friday night, and even more ready to earn what we've been saying with our team this year. I'm ready for our guys to earn another 48 minutes this Friday night. So,
a great thought right there. Folks, Josh Wyatt, of course, my co-host Brian Bullard. This is the reason I get amazed. I feel good when I leave here. And I'll tell you, just being around these young men, we got a couple of more coaches here tonight, and you're going to hear from some of them. We've got 2 fine players. And when I leave every Tuesday night, I feel so much better about the world, about life, and myself. And stay tuned for the next segment. We are here at Hub City Deli. Come get your Kraft sandwich. I've got them holding on to a Cuban for me to take home with me. Of course, this week, the Firebird is the featured sandwich. You got half sandwich and soup or salad. You got salads, wraps, you name it. Now, Coach Bullard and him, they have all. I can't go on air and eat. I have to hold, at our place, Shane Cisco cooks a mean hamburger when it comes time for game stuff. Have to wait and eat mine after the game, but that's okay. Come on down to Hub City Deli. We do appreciate those people. We'll take a quick time out. We'll be back with players.
27 years ago, a vision became a reality and Snookum Steakhouse officially opened. We cut our steaks in-house and our ribeyes are full of flavor. The steak trimmings are used to make our certified Angus beef steak burgers, so when you order at Snookum's, you are getting high quality. Enjoy our salad bar and mini dessert. Also try our famous family recipe, the Pink Lush Fruit Salad. Come visit Snookum Steakhouse in Henderson, Tennessee. We are open evenings Tuesday through Saturday but closed Sunday and Monday. Snookum Steakhouse, come taste the difference.
Great American Sports, make sports an addiction. Located at 125B Old Hickory Boulevard, East in Jackson, we specialize in team sports for youth leagues, schools, and churches. We can embroider and screen print team uniforms. We also have sports equipment, Under Armour and Adidas clothing, and anything else you need for your team sports. You can email or call us for all your team sports needs. Great American Sports, make sports an addiction.
This could be a true story. On October 3rd, a 2003 hatchback struck and killed a deer that goes by the name Buck. I know, right? He now has Buck's head proudly displayed on his living room wall. He tells a different story.
Shot it.
No, he didn't.
And to hide his lie, he took his car to Mitchell's Body Shop.
No, I didn't.
Yes, he did. And lucky for him, they made it look good as new. And as for Buck, the story continues.
Hello, folks. This is Gary Deaton, right here at Deaton's Carpet One. I want to let you know we've been in business for 48 years. Here's what I believe has made the difference. Our lifetime labor warranty on everything we install. Our healthy living installations, bacteria and germs cannot survive in our new flooring. Our beautiful guarantee, if you don't just love it, we'll replace it. It will make your flooring experience priceless. We're located on Freedom Highway, 1000 Highway 45 bypass in good old Jackson, Tennessee.
Bobby Flay.
Jackson Christian School recap show, football recap show, and I was trying to do a little fancy footwork there because Gage was watching the TV there for a minute and commenting on that like all good quarterbacks do. Hey, we had a big win. We're 9-2. We got to go play 10-1 Nashville Christian this week. That's all right. We don't care. We play them one at a time. We'll play whoever the TSSAA brackets send to us. And it'll be a game between 2 fine Christian schools. It will also be a slobber knocker and a white knuckler probably, if you understand those terms. But I'm going to turn this show over to Coach Bullard for the introduction of our next player.
Coach, we once again have Gage with us tonight, our quarterback, and just going to hit on some things and some numbers to give us some talking points. But Gage had his best game of the season, 11 of 13. 229 yards and 2 touchdowns. He up for the Jackson Sun Player of the Week, one of 3 that we have. And we'll talk about our award that our fans vote on. We can hit on that, Coach, whenever you want to, or we can save that to the end.
I think
there.
we announced that in that last segment.
last
the
part.
best time to do that.
But to me, in that game right there, gave Gage over 1,000 yards passing with 9 touchdowns. And what I loved about Gage on Friday was his poise. And when Gage is poised and our offense is poised, we run very efficient. And we're going to need another game just like that. But it wasn't anything spectacular, any huge effort that Gage put in. He was just calm and under control and relaxed and made his throws and had a great night in a playoff game. And that's all you can ask for out of our quarterback.
That really is. Gage, in baseball, the kind of night you had, I believe 11 for 13, or was it 13 for 15? I don't have
11
of
13.
11 of 13. In baseball, it looks like a beach ball coming up there for you to hit. In football, what happens when you're as hot as a $2 pistol?
Well, I don't really know how to describe it. Am I talking?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like the defense really isn't there. It's different. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's different against some teams than it's more different against some teams than others. But it's easier once you get into like a groove. Like I think I might have completed my first 5 passes, and once that happens, it's on for the rest of the night.
And you visualize the whole night, don't you? And you get in this zone, and it feels good, and it's a rhythm. You look like you were really in rhythm. The only pass, and we had an unfortunate grounding call, but the way I watched the film, I see it looked like a hand, and the ball, if you watch it real close, changes a little bit. So somebody may have tipped that one. And to the not sure, I'll take up for the official in one way, and then he didn't understand the route. There was a man headed for where the ball would have been delivered, because I go back as an old quarterbacks coach and watch the hand and this, that, and the other, and you just didn't throw it away for the fun of it. It would have had more purpose on it had it not gotten touched.
Well, I mean, maybe. I don't.
Well, it looked like you had a direction you wanted it to go in. That's what I'm saying.
I think I saw Walker on the left
Yeah,
side, and I was planning on throwing it to him. But
And sometimes, and you get an unfortunate call, but you know what? You and your teammates recovered. How did it feel to recover from that bad situation happening, and we still turned it into a positive game?
Well, we have so many weapons on offense, like Cam and Jalen, even when he doesn't get the ball, and Jalen when he doesn't get a pass, and Cooper Banke even when he doesn't get the pass, and they're all just so deadly.
Absolutely. And again, I got to ask you about that offensive line. We graduated 5 seniors from last year. This line, some of those young men have, Coach Bullard, I think, pointed this out when we've had some of them, had to bide their time. How's it feel to have such a good offensive line made up of guys that didn't get many starts in their career till now?
Well, I know they all worked their butts off in the summer, and that's thanks to Coach Gillum and you too. And, I mean, it's just them working hard. Carson, CJ, Greg, Deloach, Eli. And Childress also subs in. And CJ's not really a lineman anymore, but he doesn't like to be a lineman, but he is a lineman.
He is a lineman, and but he does a great job, and he is dangerous. Of course, I got to mention Trent Carrier when you say CJ. He has turned into a wrecking machine on kickoffs and things like that. Are you glad you don't have to cover kickoffs?
Yes, I'm very glad. I was running for my life last year when Coach P put me out there.
Well, I've learned something about, first of all, this young man's got more speed, Coach Bullard, than we thought he did. Mm-hmm. He has made some good positive gains. And before I ask my last question, Coach Bullard's got a couple for you. Your speed has improved because, let's be honest, we weren't always a sprinter, but you've looked like man of war, which is a compliment. That was a great racehorse a few times this year. You have improved a lot. How does it feel to have that improvement from the first night you started when the butterflies were really turning to each game has gotten better?
It kind of, I guess, being less timid when you're playing in the first game, playing in your first game since you were in middle school. There's a lot of nerve going on in your stomach and in your head. There's a lot of thinking going on, and I was really nervous the first game, and I slowly became less nervous. Coach B threatened me a couple times, but that's what I needed.
I got to ask this, and it's going to be Coach Buller's turn. I was on a team with a quarterback that would drink a bottle of Pepto-Bismol before every game. Just tell me you don't do anything like that.
The only thing I take before the game is a 5-hour energy, and I'm good to go.
Okay. Coach B, it's your turn.
Gage, take us through. You had a couple long touchdown passes in the game. Take us through the play to Jay. I think it was a vertical, and you guys hooked up on that. Tell us from a quarterback perspective, what you saw, what you were looking at before the snap, and where you knew you were going with the football.
Well, I have a tag, so it's kind of already my eyes are shifted towards them, but I also look at my read corners, and once I saw that the corner was playing up on Jalen, I mean, you know it's over if they're up on him like that. He's such a good athlete, and once he got across field in front of his man, all you got to do is throw it up to him. He'll go get it.
Absolutely, and it looked like from my perspective that Jay bent it back towards the far goalpost, and could you see that as you were getting ready to throw, and did that change where you were throwing that football, or you and him kind of seemed to be in sync a little bit too? What goes into that?
I think Jalen knew what he was doing. It makes it a lot easier on me if he were to go across instead of going straight up, because if he's going straight up, he's going further away from me quicker.
Making it harder to throw.
And if he's going across, and if he's going up and across, he's slowly getting further, but he's still getting further away. It's just an easier throw for me because I have more time to throw it out in front of him.
Tell me how, and I never played quarterback, but tell me how you are able to stay in the pocket and make throws. And you've taken some big-time hits this year. And that's something that an offensive lineman is going to turn around, and they're going to, they're going to appreciate you sticking in there and making a throw for them, even though maybe they missed a block or whatever it looked like in protection. But what is it like to have a linebacker coming down on you when you know you still have a job to do and get rid of that football?
I know I can trust my line. Well, when I take a drop and I have a mental clock in my head, and once that mental clock goes off, I'm ready to move whenever. And I'll take some hits, but there have been some, they always encourage me. Liam will come over there a couple times after I'll take a lick after letting one go, and he'll be like, good job, Gage, good job, Gage. He'll help me up. And same with Greg and Carson. They'll help me up every time.
Absolutely. And I always tell you, not always, but there's times where we know what's coming, we know what route you're throwing, and just to stay in there and trust it and trust those guys. And you're really going to have to do that Friday night, Coach, and to hit a little bit on this week. I mean, we know we're going up against a great team and a great school. They get after it up front, and it's going to take Gage standing in there and having the courage to do that and make throws to win this game. And I have no doubt, watching him progress from week to week, as you mentioned earlier, that he's getting better. The poise is getting better. He's trusting his teammates, and he's doing a good job for us right now.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to get the rust off of. This is a bad question, but I promised an adult that's got a son on the team that I would ask you this, and I wasn't going to try to explain. He wanted to know if the quarterback sneak was your favorite play. Folks, we run out of a spread formation.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why he asked that, but we try to have a little fun on this show too. What is your favorite play?
Well, when they signal in a vert for Jalen, that's my favorite. That's my favorite thing to see. Like, my eyes light up when that happens, and I also like when they throw corner route. I like throwing corner routes to Walker and sideline sits to Walker because I know he'll always catch the ball. Same with Cooper Banke and Cooper Cantrell.
Is that what Walker scored on?
Mm-hmm.
And that was
the
corner route?
Well, remind folks, you just, if you want to, give them your Bible verse, because I really think that's important. You don't have to go word for word if you just got the number in the book that it's in, because Gage has been on with us before, and remind them what your favorite Bible verse is, though.
It's what is it? It's
Well, he's got more than one. I know that because I got.
I'm trying to think of the one I said last time.
Well, you don't have to. Just whatever, because if you like more than one, guess what? That's fine.
I think it's Isaiah 40:31.
Yes. Okay. You did good. Now, what do we as a unit need to accomplish besides winning? Obviously, the goal is to win. What do we need to do Friday night?
Keep our heads, not go crazy. I know sometimes when, especially like last week, when things are going on that were outside of us, especially on the other sidelines and our sideline, obviously, people tend to lose their heads on the field too. And it's kind of up to me to keep people cool on offense, but we got to control the same thing on defense. It's because Tacker's like the me of the defense, and he always does his job well, and he can usually always keep the defense calm. So I think we'll be okay.
I think Gage just told us that cool heads win hot ball games.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. We are very proud of you. Last word is yours.
Hi, Mom and Dad, and Samantha.
That's a good thing to do. And Samantha's a pretty good athlete too, isn't she? No?
She says she is, but she's all right.
Anyway, Gage Boykin, junior quarterback, 11 for 13, over 200 yards, 2 touchdown passes, getting better every week, and he's worth the price of admission to come and see him play. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we've got another special guest that Coach Bullard has brought for you. We're going to take that time out here at Hub City Deli on Pleasant Plains Extended, home of the great deli sandwiches. Come and see them. We are thankful. You be thankful, too. We'll be back after this.
At Lonnie Cobb Ford, we now give you a warranty for life on the engine and transmission. That's right, a warranty for life at no cost to you. Unlimited time, unlimited mileage, but it's only at Lonnie Cobb Ford in Henderson, where cars really are cheaper in the country. Buying a car is all about you. In person, over the phone, or online, we make it simple and easy. Our place is yours, no matter where you live. LonnieCobbFord.com or Lonnie Cobb Ford in Henderson, where cars really are cheaper in the country.
Downtown is thriving, and the Blacksmith Restaurant is leading the pack. From the rustic dining room to the unmatched patio, eating local with family is what we're about. Live local, eat local, relax local.
Welcome to Mann's Wrecker Service. We offer a wide array of services. We are dedicated towing professionals, experienced in both simple and complicated towing services. We offer light and heavy-duty off-road recovery, auto and heavy-duty towing, load shift and load transfer capabilities, and much more. We are equipped to handle any situation, no matter how big or how small. Call today at 731-424-2173.
We are a team composed of highly skilled physical therapists with new school treatment approaches and old school customer service principles. We are a community presence because we know our foundation rests in relationship building and involvement. We are leaders in this industry, and we're putting in time daily to develop that aspect of thinking. We're more than a business. We're a team composed of individuals governed by a set of core values. We're more than a physical therapy company. We're a movement in the profession. We are your premier physical therapy team in West Tennessee.
And we are back at the Jackson Christian Football Recap Show. Coach Brian Bullard, Coach Joe Holloway, and we've already had one special guest, Gage Boykin, and, of course, Coach Josh White, a very fine young man. Both of them. Coach White I was impressed with. I did not know that he had been a minister before.
Absolutely. And I wasn't kidding when I said he brings the word in chapel. And those kids are – it's hard to get in front of high school kids and talk and keep their attention. And Coach White and Cam may agree, may not agree. I don't know.
I agree.
Coach White does a great job in front of our kids and brings just a lot of things to our school.
And you got a very special guest, and something I'll tell him about in a minute. He won't understand it, but I'm going to challenge him to go home and do Wikipedia or something like that. There's a gentleman that I want him to familiarize himself with, and we'll talk about it in a minute. But here's Coach Brian Bullard, and like I said, a very special guest.
A return guest on our show, Coach, and Cam Boyd here sitting to my left. Another great night rushing the football, 16 attempts, 89 yards, 3 touchdowns. And Coach McLean, who does a great job giving us some little facts and some things, those touchdowns put Cam 21 on the season, tying him with Will Johnson back in 2008, and just 7 shy of Adam Reagan's school record of 27 in 2001. And that's 2 great running backs to be in the same conversation with. And we hope that we keep playing and we get to talk about him breaking that record of Adam Reagan. And so Cam is a guy, and we've talked a lot about this the last time he was on, that does enjoy his numbers and those things just like everybody does. But you'll also see him downfield blocking. You'll see him when Campbell comes in cheering on Campbell and all the things that go along with being a team leader and a captain. And let's go ahead and get this out there, Coach. And last week we got the news that Cam, and he'll not enjoy me sitting here talking about it like this, but we have to. He is a Mr. Football semifinalist, and that's a huge – and I won't take too much from that, but that's just a huge honor for Cam, for our school, for our football program, and gives us back-to-back years with Aaron Smith last year reaching that and then a finalist. So hopefully Cam will be able to represent us in Nashville.
And absolutely, it's amazing because in this state we've got a lot of great running backs. That just shows you how good this young man is, because it's not easy to get chosen.
That's right.
Especially sometimes here in West Tennessee, we get a little neglected. So, Cam, it's a bigger honor than you think it is to even be chosen and sometimes even to be considered. But in your case, you were one of the chosen ones.
Yes, sir.
How does it feel to be a semifinalist?
Feels honestly okay. It's a different feeling, you know, something I've never felt before. When my dad told me, I was actually surprised. But I mean, then again, if you think about it, I try my best on the field, and then my line they do all they can to help him block. So, I mean, what would happen?
Well, since you brought that up, and I know the answer to this, say something about your offensive lineman, because last time you were here, you were very high on them. But go ahead, because those guys, they kind of go along. They'll help you carry the award out if you get it.
They will carry the award out. See, Lord's willing. See, my thing is I allow Lord, the God, to just do whatever He does. You know, it's not about me. It's about the boys. It's about the team. It's about how God thinks things should go down. You know, but I feel the boys they have a high motivation. You know, it's a lot of love going into the sport and a lot of love going into one another. It's deeper than you could think, honestly. Like when we got out of practice, Coach was talking about, you know, the love and the chemistry that we had, you know, and I felt that, because it's more than just, okay, Cam, just go score. No, it's deeper than that. It's like you got Carson, you got Eli, you got everybody just fighting, you know, trying to give me them extra yards to push or anything. And I'm blessed to have them.
You are blessed, and they're blessed to have you to work with. Okay, I'm going to introduce this in a moment. Coach Bullard's got some good technical questions. I'm letting him handle that because for those of you listening in Nashville, Tennessee, you will learn no secrets tonight. We're just going to talk sound, solid football, introduce you to a lot of great Christian people. But there was a guy named Dick Bass. I want you to go home and look him up. He was an NFL running back. He gained 1,000 yards a couple of times in his career. Your style is much like him. He ran like a clock sometimes. He also had a spin move and a pivot. You're not the biggest guy in the world. How tough is it being, and I'm not either, except for I gained weights, and I weighed 150 pounds when I was your age.
Yes, sir.
How tough is it being a small, lightweight running back? And talk about your style, because it's a little bit like Dick Bass, and I do want you to find out who that gentleman was. I have a lot of respect for him.
Well, first off, it depends on whether, you know, you have heart or not. See, no disrespect to anyone out there, but I separate myself on the level of heart, you know. No matter how big my opponent is or how strong or anything, you know, I'm always have that heart, you know, and that's something not everyone can have. You can train someone, you can teach someone, but you just have to be born with heart, you know. Style-wise, I know I'm small, but, you know, I'm strong, man. I pack a punch. You know, you can grab me, but you truly have to lift me off my feet to get me down. You know, like I said, I try to be very humble. I don't like to talk about myself, very much. But hey, I put forth effort. I try my best on the field house lifting weights with Coach Irvin and everything. I do all I can.
One other guy I want to mention, and you go to Coach Irv and get him to talk to you about. There's a running back at Lambeth University named JoJo Jones.
Okay.
You also run somewhat like JoJo. JoJo was a little bit of a Dick Bass type guy, and very inspirational runners. But sometimes your heart is bigger than the rest of you, and I've observed that and like that in yourself. My final question to you, and I'm going to let, because Coach, like I said, I know he's got some good ones tonight. What have we got to do, and what has Cam Boyd got to do to help us win this week?
We just all got to stay focused, take it a day at a time. We can't live in the future. We just got to live in the now, in the present. So, everyone go to sleep thinking, preparing for Wednesday practice. Stay motivated, positive vibes, no negative energy. Pray for it. God is for us. If God is for us, who can be against us? You feel me? So, just keep it rolling. Stay positive. Stay motivated.
Cam, tell us about pre-snap. I kind of like to get into some football stuff with, like Coach said, without giving anything away. Pre-snap, you get the play, you get your alignment. What are you looking at? What are you thinking about? What is your mindset when you know you're fixing to get the football? Talk us through that.
Well, pre-snap, I like you said, I hear the play. I'm walking out or I'm jogging out, depending on how the energy is. I try to jog out most of the time, but if I'm tired, slow it down a little bit, catch my breath. But first things first, I check the linebackers, honestly, depending on who the threat is defensively. If their best players at the linebacker or corner, depending on where they are. I check where they are, my threats. Depending on where the threats are, I check. And I just have faith in my blockers, though.
Absolutely.
Regardless of what goes down, I have faith. Yes, no one is perfect, so people will slip up, I may slip the ball. I may drop the ball on accident or anything, but you just got to keep it pushing. You got to stay positive, and as long as you keep it pushing, you'll be fine.
Cam, one of the things that sticks out to me this year, and you've had 21 touchdowns, and all those runs have been fantastic. Some of them long, some of them in short yardage, things like that. But one of my favorite plays that I can remember from you is, I think it was the Trinity game. We threw a screen or it was an apple or something to Jay, and I just remember you getting out in front of Jay and are just blocking, working your tail off to keep people off of him, and you and him together fight for 5 or 6 more yards, and it's on our sideline, and that's why I remember it so well. And tell me about your mindset, because sometimes running backs, like you said, you might be a little winded and hey, that ball's not going to me. I need to carry out my fake and maybe rest a little bit right here. But on plays like that, and I see you getting out and blocking and doing those things that guys do for you, what is your mindset in regards to that?
I have to return. I gotta keep the same energy as they did. They blocked for me. I'm not a special person. I put my pants on the same way they do, so they deserve the same respect as I do.
Absolutely. And Gage hit on it when he talked. Coach talked about Campbell, Cam, Jay, Cooper, Walker, all those guys that can take some of the brunt of the blows off of him and off of Campbell and make Gage's life easier. And we really have had buy-in to that. And, on any given play, 4 or 5 guys can touch the football. And that's not always the case with every team you play. You can zero in on 1 or 2 people here and there. But with our offense, it's kind of tough sometimes, and this guy has a lot to do with that. Not only carrying the football, but also when he's not on the field or when it's not his turn in the rotation to carry the football. Downfield blocking, doing his thing, and we're proud of him.
Got to ask you this. Jalen's learning it, and he's gotten better at it. You do this pretty well. How important the fans out there and the younger people, because you've got younger people that they want to run like Cam Boyd. How important is body lean and to keep those feet moving after contact?
That's the key concept, honestly, because this is how I think of it. You can either be the nail or you can be the hammer. The nail, you got your feet still, you're not moving, you're not driving. But if you're the hammer, you keep it pushing no matter what's going on. And you never know. You may break loose and actually score a touchdown. You may only get two more yards from contact. You never know. But you just got to have faith and keep going. You got to keep your legs moving always. Keep your feet under your body and keep it pushing.
I love that answer, don't you, Coach?
Absolutely.
For two old coaches,
and that wasn't rehearsed.
Made us
that
feel
was
good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you made us feel good. Coach, you got anything else for Kim?
No.
Well, Kim, you know what time. And number one, remind people, again, like Gage did, of your favorite Bible verse. And two, it's your turn to say anything to not only Jackson Christian fans, but Moose's to the east, we know in Kingsport listening. I'd say Darby's parents are probably listening in Arkansas, and we may even have some good folks down in Alabama listening tonight.
Okay, let me make sure I got this correctly.
Now, that's what I like about this. He does everything right.
I said it earlier, if God is for us, who can be against us? But I want to say the chapter and everything, the verse.
And that's what I love about these kids. Coach, we've got one of the finest set of kids. That'd make you feel good even if you wasn't coaching football.
Absolutely.
And we've got a big game while Cam's looking at it. You ready, Cam?
Yes, sir. Romans 8:31. If God is for us, who can be against us? That's another one of my favorite verses.
Absolutely, a great one.
It keeps me motivated.
Your turn to tell it like it is right now.
I just want to thank y'all for showing love, supporting us no matter what, whether it's cold, snowy, raining, anything. You know, I love y'all. Thank y'all for supporting us.
Absolutely, good people. We're fixing to take a timeout, and I'm going to tease y'all by telling you we're fixing to have the Tower of Power come over here and talk to you, the man that's too sweet to be sour, but he knows his football. And to close this thing out, the closer is on the way. We are here at Hub City Deli. You're listening to the Jackson Christian Football Recap Show. We'll be back after this timeout.
Southern Family Dentistry's dental laser technology is a game changer for those who experience dental anxiety. Just imagine, no more drills. Look at some of Dr. Nathan Nash's patient results. We provide a relaxing environment to ensure a pleasant visit every time. From a simple cleaning to a full dental reconstruction. And now, prepless veneers. We're there when you need us. Dr. Nathan Nash will treat your family just like he wants his family treated. Check them out on Facebook to see all those loving smiles. Call 300-4545. Southern Family Dentistry, we want to make you smile.
Hello, I'm Wes Harris with State Farm Insurance. My customers love the fact that they can call me or my team members anytime. So when they're in an accident on the bypass with somebody that doesn't have insurance, or they come out of the grocery store and somebody's backed into their car and has not left a note, or they come home and there's a tree on the roof, or maybe water pouring out their front door, they call a local agent, somebody that they know. So call me, Wes Harris, with State Farm Insurance, located right here on Van Drive in Jackson.
Men, there's a new salon in Jackson, Race Clips, on South Highland, next door to Roland Safety and Supply. Whether it's a quick trim or a new look, Race Clips stylists can transform you to perfection. At Race Clips, you'll find all the products to keep you looking your best. Active duty military, veterans, and law enforcement officers receive a discount. Open Monday through Friday from 9 to 6, 9 to 3 on Saturday. Race Clips on South Highland, Jackson. Go to race-clips.com.
Downtown is thriving and the Blacksmith Restaurant is leading the pack. From the rustic dining room to the unmatched patio, eating local with family is what we're about. Live local, eat local, relax local.
And we are back for the final segment here at Hub City Deli, the Jackson Christian Football Recap Show. And I'm looking at all those great sandwiches, and when I get to leave here tonight, I'm taking the Cuban sandwich home with me. Bass got me into that. I had one last week when we were here. But now there are many other things, and these are great people. Big supporters of Jackson Christian. You know what? We had a lot of Jackson Christian people here tonight. Of course, I gave you the big build-up, the Tower of Power. No, Dusty Rhodes isn't here. Somebody better than Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream. Darby Palmer, one of the finest young head coaches in America.
America.
Yeah,
Whoa.
America. I'm moving him up.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
We're winning. We're 9-2.
Hey, yeah, there you go.
We get to play 10-1 Nashville Christian, but I'm going to turn it over because between he and Coach Bullard, all I got to do is look good and smile for the camera. So, Coach Bullard, it's yours.
Coach, tell us a couple things that we did well Friday first, and then we'll talk a little bit about Nashville Christian at the end. What are some things you were proud of from our guys?
Yeah, absolutely. So offensively, a lot of what we were proud of, what we were building up on is our play-action game, and we were able to execute that at a high level. Our offense is very hard to defend. Once we can get our run game going, get to the perimeter, and then the last step of that is our play-action passes off of that. So we were very excited with Gage in our receiving core and their performance, because they've done a great job all year, later on the line, blocking, and that's been a young crew that we've been trying to bring along throughout the whole year. So seeing them shine on Friday night was really special. Defensively, our two linebackers in the middle did an outstanding job. Our D-line definitely won the line of scrimmage and was able to keep a lot of their blockers off of our linebackers, keep them free, and they were able to make plays. Chance and Tacker did a great job. I think Chance had 13 tackles and Tacker had 11. So they carried the bulk load in the middle. And then it was really good to see Jalen come on as a free safety and get an interception. He's been close on a lot, and he's a young player. He's a freshman, but he's really starting to figure out that free safety position. We put him in where he's having to guard the middle third and a lot of field, put him in a lot of tough situations. But for him to be able to read and get that pick on those 4 verticals was big at the end.
Would you say that was the game that Gage has played with the most poise this season for us?
Absolutely, especially in the passing game. Gage has shown a lot of poise throughout the year in our run game and just commanding our offense. But in regards to passing game, and it's happened the past few games, even in the Fade Academy when we had a lot of wet balls and we were trying to get him a dry ball and to take shots. But that game this past Friday was Gage's best game of really settling into the quarterback role and picking and choosing his shots and going through his reads.
Hit on Cam Boyd being a semifinalist for Mr. Football and what that means to our program, and coming off a year where Aaron got a lot of recognition. Tell us what that means.
Absolutely. So this is the 3rd year in a row that we've had a Mr. Football semifinalist. Started with Caden, and then went to Aaron, and now Cam. And we're super excited about that. And one thing that we talked about as a unit is it's not just one man's award. It's the whole program. It's that whole unit that laid it on the line for Cam. And I'm sure Cam would say the same thing
he did.
about
Absolutely.
his unit.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the type of culture, that's the type of mentality that we have at Jackson Christian, where it's a unit thing. It's not just a one man getting the recognition. Even though Cam deserves that recognition, he does an outstanding job and is a great leader for us. But he can't do it on his own. So he's got 10 other guys out there in the field helping him.
And he said he was going to let the lineman carry the trophy if he were.
Oh, there we go. That's awesome.
And Coach, don't forget, we need to get you and Coach to address all the awards.
Yes, sir.
We're up for a bucket load of awards.
Yes,
plus
sir.
We've gotten some.
Well, we were sitting here eating earlier, and Coach Palmer got a text. Tell us about the WBBJ Team of the Week that we received as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I got a text as we were eating the great Hub City burger that we all love. Yeah, they'll be out tomorrow at practice to interview us and a few players. But anytime that we can be up for that type of award and all the other awards, it's really good for our players to get that recognition for all the effort that they put in.
And along with that, we have the Jackson Sun. Every week they do Players of the Week, voted on by the community. And I don't know that we've ever had 3 guys in a week. And I know playoffs, you don't have as many games going on. I understand all that. But Gage, obviously we know his numbers. We talked about it. Tack and Chance getting recognized for that as well. And, Coach, you mentioned kind of pulling votes from each other. Yeah. And maybe that does happen, but you can still go on and support these guys. And
go and support them. Do whatever you got to do to support. They deserve it. And, Coach, I am going to disagree with you for a change.
All right.
Yeah, we may have had fewer games because the lower teams didn't get in the game, but you have stiffer competition.
There you go.
Because now it's all focused on the superstars from each team and stuff. So our young men, for us to have 3 now, I am totally excited.
That's a great take, Coach. That you're spot on with that. And then the last thing I think we've got awards-wise is our Twitter. And Coach McLean puts that out there, and the fans vote on that, and all of our Twitter followers, which I think we're up to about 500 folks or so. He does a tremendous job with that. Engage, brought to you by Stanfield Sonics, and was our Player of the Week, voted on by all of our Twitter followers. And we love Sonic and
good people, and we miss Jerry.
Absolutely, too. And that was a loss for our community, Coach. And
yes.
I don't know that we ever hit on that, but we got to visit with Will and a player that played for us for 4 years, and Will's going to do a great job, I think, in his stead of carrying on what his dad did, and we're very thankful that they continue that sponsorship and all those things for us.
Will be successful in anything he does, and I guarantee he'll bring Sonic to greater glory. And Will, we miss you, because I do. I've missed watching him play line for us last year, too.
And you can find him at the games. He and Tim, they like to come out and support and catch up with Coach Hooper and Coach Reichert and all those guys, and we love for guys to come back, and sometimes they go off different places, but we enjoy that. But one thing too that I'm not going to ask him to comment on. Go ahead.
That's one of the things that makes this place special and this program special is any fall breaks, any Christmas breaks, any type of breaks at all where guys can come back from colleges. We have kids there all the time just wanting to come back and see how things are doing.
Yeah, and even though you guys didn't coach him, every once in a while you hear from a young man named Aldrich who just happens to be coaching for Liberty University.
That's right.
And don't think he doesn't keep up with his old school.
Oh, yeah, he does. He does. That was my college roommate.
Yes, he was.
So we were able to go and watch him play Ole Miss and run out on the field this past weekend. So that was a cool experience to see.
It happens. What do we got to do now? Two fine teams, 10-1, 9-2. Two excellent programs. We have history with each other, and it's been a while since we beat them, so we owe them one. But, they came in here, and we really gave them a good game. Just an 11-point difference. Was really closer than you thought. And we even played them good the year that our quarterback was playing on one leg. Our kids did a great job. What's it going to take for one of these two teams to have victory?
Absolutely. Nashville Christian is a great program. They have a lot of good players, and in games like this, we always tell our guys we got to stack plays. We got to win all three phases of the game, offense, defense, special teams. You can't give them any juice plays, any hype plays on special teams or big plays. We got to limit that defensively. But really it's just stacking plays, keeping the main thing, focusing on one play at a time and stack them.
Win more possessions than they do, would that be a good phrase?
That would be a good phrase. That would be a good
one. Final comments from both you coaches.
We're just thankful to be in this position. We had a great practice tonight, and at the end, God was showing out with the sunset for us, and our guys just kind of turned and were admiring that, and we just kind of talked. Cam hit on it. We talked about what it means to be a part of something. And us old folks, we don't get to play anymore, but our relationships that we built are what we remember the most. And I just challenged our guys to hold on to those things. And every day that we get to practice together, to enjoy the moment and don't take it for granted. Because Friday we have to go into a place that's not easy to win. They're well coached. We all know all the things about Nashville Christian, and have another chance to earn 48 minutes the next week, and that's our message. Can we earn 48 minutes and get to play the next week and get to do the prep work as coaches and all those things? And we want the support that we've had all season. We hope everybody can. It's a longer trip, but I have no doubt the stands will be full, and we'll have some loud students and those things there.
We got good fans. Coach?
Yeah, absolutely. Just echoing what Coach Bull said. We talked about the opportunity that's in hand. Well, we have 48 minutes, but we got to go out and earn 48 more. And how we do that is stack plays on plays, and we would love all the support that we can get, whether it's tuning in to you guys on the radio or being there present at the game to support our young men. They're going to lay it on the line.
Absolutely. I want to thank the people here at Hub City Deli. Without them, this show really isn't possible. The coaches would be here. They're always going to give. Paul Schultz and Worthy Road Studios are always going to be there when you need them. I'm going to come because, one, I love the players, the coaches, love this school. It's a great school. But Hub City Deli, home of the best deli sandwiches, right here on Pleasant Plains Extended. Again, folks, come by and not only thank them, come by and get you some good food. Try the Cuban. I'm pushing it right now. When the Biggie Sue comes back, I'll let you know. That's the one with 2 grilled pork chops on it. Now, it's my turn to also tell you that any rebroadcast, retransmission, or further use of this broadcast without the express written consent of Worthy Road Studios is prohibited. And for my two fine coaches here, Coach Darby Palmer and Coach Brian Bullard, and the rest of them, Cam Boyd, Gage, and the whole Jackson Christian School family, we say thanks for your time this time till next time. Good night, all.